Hi guys, welcome to my intermission guide. Today what I'll do is I'll just take you through how you set up the assignments, and then essentially I'll just take you through 3 different perspectives, one in the middle, one on the side, and one on the other side, with 2 immunities, just showing you how to do the intermission and explaining how the weak aura works and all of that kind of stuff. Should be good, and yeah, we can go from there. Okay, so what's important to note is we use the liquid one, we don't use the Northern Sky one. So yeah, if you use the Northern Sky one, I'm sorry, but that's just not what we use. So essentially you can see here you have 9 positions in a semicircle around the boss. You pick 9 players to put in these positions. Okay, what you want is your far left immunity to be on number 1, your far right immunity to be on number 9, and then your middle immunity to be on number 5. What we actually ended up doing was having a middle immunity on 5 and a second immunity on 4. And what happened is this immunity ran this way and this immunity ran this way. And then they met this people just to make it a little bit easier. We felt like the damage requirement wasn't too bad in the intermission, so we could afford to have 4 immunities. Some people have 5, some people have 3. It's up to you. But yeah, that's what we decided. So what happens is these 9 people will be set a specific position, essentially. Basically, all this does is make these people be in this position, and they'll never be anywhere else. Maybe if people die, it might change it on the fly, but essentially it means that your immunity will be here, your immunity will be here, your immunity will be here, and your immunity will be here. You don't need to put tanks in it. It'll always prioritize tanks towards the outside, so your tanks will swap sides, but they can deal with that. It's not a problem. So essentially, the way that we did it is we wanted to have a spread of immunities across these positions. So the people that we focused on here were people that have immunities and people that are backup. Also, as I said, because the weak aura has certain rules for certain classes, you don't need to necessarily put like a healer in here to keep them in the middle and keep them safe, because then what it does is it never puts them as backup and it makes them absorb. So actually it's better to keep them out of the list, because unless someone's dead, they'll basically be back up and they'll basically be in the middle. So it's pretty good to just keep healers out. We put our Holy Paladin in because it's a backup. And obviously we have 2 Rets, 2 Hunters, and a Rogue. We also have a Demon Hunter, but it's not in for now. So basically, as far as setting up the weak aura goes, make sure that this has a good spread of immunities in it and that they know what they're soaking. So Hunter soaking this way. This Rep Paladin was actually soaking this way for us. This Rep Paladin would run back to the middle and soak this way for us. And this Hunter would soak this way for us. Okay, that's how the assignment works. That's what you want to do with this page specifically. Okay, so where this actually differs to Heroic is that you have 2 different types of orb, and each player gets a specific buff. They either become flame-bound or shadow-bound, and they can only absorb that type of orb. So I won't go into what the weak aura is doing right now, but what you can see from here is that orbs spawn of a certain colour. I have the purple buff, so all I can do is absorb purple balls. If I absorb a red ball, I am going to die. The only time you would do that is if a red ball was going to go and hit the actual boss and wipe everybody else. You can sacrifice yourself. Maybe that's good for prog, but when it actually comes to it, you don't want to be doing that. But that is the difference to Heroic on this, okay? Okay, so what's going to happen to the weak aura is you're going to get given a specific colour and a specific side, and it's going to say it over your head again and again and again. So if I freeze this here, you can see that I have R2 purple on my side. That means I am right, my colour is purple, and I'm picking up the second purple orb. Okay, so what we're going to see here is we're going to see the orb spawn. Okay, and we're going to see that top one here. This is right purple 1, so R1 purple, and this is R2 purple, so that is my orb. Okay, that one specifically is my orb. So there you go, I get it. Then the second set is going to spawn much wider this time. We're going to be going much further out. So you can see here is number 1, okay, and here is number 2 of purple, and therefore I am soaking that orb, and it should just play out that I've looked behind me, I've realised where my orb is, and I just wait for it to hit me in the back. Then it gets a little bit more interesting. You get these blazes come in. All you need to do is survive these blazes, and you have your immunities doing their thing. What I do as a tank is I always look to make sure if they're going to miss one that's my colour, I can back it up. So they're probably not going to miss one of the far out ones, they're probably going to miss one of the closer ones. So I stand it a little bit and just make sure that I can back them up if needed. Okay, so coming over to a hunter point of view, they're going to be doing immunity on the left side because we put them in position 1. So this is whatever you put in position 1 will do. You can see that they have got left 1 purple. Okay, so they stand to the furthest out one, so they know if they need to move into the middle they can, but it's on the furthest out one. Nice and easy, they get it. They will then reposition themselves for the further out one. They didn't have to go as far out as they thought. They get the second one, but it's still number 1 as purple. Fine, and here's how the immunity goes. You blaze, you just run, doesn't matter. There you go, there you go. They've got a timer on their immunities, they can tell when. Just take as many as you possibly can, and that's how it's done, okay? Believe me, it is not that easy to do the immunities. These balls can be a little bit fiddly, so you just have to be extra careful with it, okay? Okay, so coming over to a melee, a rep paladin point of view, they're going to have, I believe, left 2 orange, because they are slightly to the left, but it's close to the middle, so you can see. Yeah, so they've got left 2 orange, so they're going to do exactly the same as everybody else has done. They're going to count 2 orange balls. They know that that one's theirs. Okay, this one's more interesting. It's wider, so they're kind of out of position, but they can get there easily. And then because he knows he's going middle left, what he does is he bubbles, he runs to his furthest point and soaks that way, rather than going from the middle outwards, because that's time saving, right? Gets all of the ones he needs to and dodges all the blazes. So that's how you do an immunity middle left. So honestly, there's not too much to the intermission. It's simply about learning how the weak aura works and executing it. What I would suggest when you first get there is you want to hero this phase. You want all the help you can get at like dealing with the healing and basically getting through this phase and feeling like your players are confident with it, and hero really does help that. So we moved hero around a lot when we were progressing, just basically to make a phase feel easier, and then we learned better essentially. But what I would say is the blazes at the end of the phase, don't let it kill you. If you need a health pot, if you need a health stone after your first one, if you've been clipped by one and you have one, just use a health pot or a health stone, something, because when you first get into that intermission, your healers are going to be manic because they've got stuff to do. They're not going to be healing as much. Hero will help, but like I just suggest that you make sure you keep yourself alive, okay? Immunities will run out and people will get one shot. All of that kind of stuff is going to happen, so just keep a cool head, know what you're doing, know where you should be, and you'll be absolutely fine, okay? As always, if you want to know anything, just give me a message, either on Discord or on YouTube, whatever one, I'll respond to you, and willing to help in any way. So yeah, just give me a shout. As always, a big thank you to those that help out. I really appreciate it, and I'm really enjoying it. We will be back for season 4. As always, please leave a like or subscribe if you're enjoying this, and I'll see you next time. Good luck with your Fyrakk proc.